Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We're two friends taking an explorative journey into all things astrology and a little woo. I'm Christine. I'm a creative, intuitive counselor and coach, and astrology enthusiast. We Pisces like to wear all the hats. You can find me on IG at The Dreamy Piscean.
And I'm Shelby. I am a licensed social worker, a big feelings person, and a light skeptic. Here to learn all the astrological things. You can find me on Twitter at Shelby Tweeting, and being a Cancer rising on Instagram at Shelby Cooking Things. Welcome to our show.
Hey, y'all. We are back with the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. My name is Christine.
And I'm Shelby.
Welcome to another week. We're getting close to the end of season 4, Shelby.
That makes me so sad. Although I think it'll be a good time for us to have a little reset, bring out some new exciting things. We've got some of those things, I think, in the works. But yeah, can you believe we've been doing this for 4 full seasons pretty much at this point?
Yes. Been in
You're
here.
like, yes, I'm so tired of you, actually. No, I'm just yes, I can believe it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you've been at it.
Yes.
Almost the end, but we're not there yet, y'all, so don't get sad.
Yeah.
How was your week, Shelby?
Oh man, my week was good. I'm having a good week, but it is also extremely stressful. So I was just telling Christine before we got on air that I'm in the middle of trying to buy a house. So it's a very exciting, very good time. I feel very privileged to be able to do that, but also holy shit, this shit is very stressful. There's like things that need to be fixed. I'm already stressed out about home ownership. Like it's a thing. And it's terrible timing because of course the person with the astrology podcast is like, oh yeah, it's fine. Let's go ahead and try to buy a house in the middle of a fucking retrograde.
Okay.
Yes. I know the rules, but also it's like this is the season of life that I'm in, so we're just gonna do the things, and we'll talk about what to do during a retrograde a little bit here soon. So
yes.
I won't jump ahead, but that's where I'm at. I'm very stressed. How's your week going?
I need to be stressed, but it's gonna work itself out.
Yes.
Take your time. Just
thank you, friend.
take your time.
Christine's praying over me just to make sure it all works out. She was doing Reiki through the Zoom recording. Thank you so much. I feel it.
Clogs, pass an inspection.
Yes. We'll get there. We sure hope.
But yeah, I mean, my week has been interesting to say the least. It's been very eventful. As far as work. There's just been a lot of work, work at the school, and then been working on the biz, and so yeah, just like a lot going on, but also hanging out with my platonic boyfriend.
Platonic boyfriend? Do you think your platonic boyfriend is he gonna hear this episode and be like,
who knows?
Who knows
when?
Yes.
We love. He's gonna be like, is it with me?
Me? Am I the?
Feel like an interesting conversation later, if he hears it.
If you have to ask yourself, am I the platonic boyfriend? Am I who they're talking about on the podcast? Sometimes the answer is yes.
Yes.
Sometimes the answer is yes.
We are talking about you. Loving term,
I just stopped myself from saying something really out of pocket, so I want you to know that I'm trying to, hold it together.
Hold it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Aries Mercury is Mercury.
Look, it was and you've listened to this podcast before. Usually I don't hold back from saying out of pocket things. God forbid anyone that I have ever worked for or with hears this. So don't think any less of me. Maybe think more of me. I don't know.
Hey, This is an entertainment podcast. We are
Entertainment
here
only.
to entertain.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? I curled my hair today. I had to pick today between, how I've been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to, look cute for the podcast. Well, I had to pick
Yes.
one because I only had time for one. So I did my hair, and now I decided to not turn the lights on, so you can't even hardly see it. I'm a mess today.
We're Pisces.
What do you expect? Okay.
We try.
We try. We try our best.
Okay, there. It's okay.
Okay. Well, do we want to see what our co-star has to say about it?
Oh yes. Okay.
I've been having some good ones lately. I've screenshotted a couple. I haven't looked at my one for today yet, but I've been saving them because I'm like, ooh, that was good. I need to remember that.
A lot of that. I'm like, okay, are they in there to read my data? Is that what it is?
Right. I swear to God, they know what's going on with me right now.
So wasn't I think the pattern that was in a lawsuit?
Really? Were they reading data?
Yeah. There was someone Channing Tatum, what? Accused, charged, I don't know, accused them of being in his actual personal data in his phone. But yeah, there's been lawsuits.
Do we have the results of it yet, or are we just kind of waiting to see?
It might be in litigation or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
okay. Well, I'm excited to see. We'll have to follow up on that in the celebrity gossip.
Okay.
Relatable content,
Okay. Maybe now be some better now. So I don't know, co-star. Hopefully we don't have to cut y'all off from the
right.
We like it when it's authentic astrology. We don't like you to just be in the phone
right. That's not nice.
You're getting extra information.
Exactly. Okay, let's see. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. It says, just because it's easy doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
So don't make things harder than they need to be, sort of.
I guess so. If it's easy, let it be easy. All right, cool.
Okay. I like it.
I like it. Okay, do playground. I did that today. It was nice. I was out on the side. I was out there checking on a student while I was walking a student out to his class after a whole ordeal. But I'm sitting down talking to this teacher, and I'm just the sun was on us. I think I'm just going to continue to sit here and just have a whole conversation.
Lovely, actually.
It feels so nice, and I'm just going to enjoy this time.
I love to see it.
I did it in the playground today, in the sun. Somersaults.
Okay.
And sunscreen.
Look, it's an outside theme today. It's basically spring break for you. Get out there.
Be outside. I'm that's never a problem.
Right.
Don't bragging rights.
Okay.
Musical numbers. Well,
Christine loves to do a musical number.
I love to sing. I love a musical number. Yeah. And don't pom-poms.
Okay, fine. So it just really doesn't want any big celebratory
no celebrations. No
pom-poms.
Pom-poms. No bragging rights.
Okay.
No musical numbers. Okay.
Humility in the sun. That's what I'm hearing.
Sit away and be quiet. Take it in.
I'm okay with that.
True. What is your co-star doing today?
Today, this is actually probably something I needed to hear. It says, release yourself from the expectation of reciprocity.
Ooh. Okay.
Now, so initially when I pulled this up and I looked at it, I was thinking about reciprocity, me having to reciprocate things for other people. But now that I'm reading it, I'm like, oh no, this is just because you do something nice for somebody, don't expect that somebody's going to do something nice for you. And I'm just oh, okay, that's actually what I need to hear, but not what I want to hear. You
Listen, the
know?
word came again. It came again as you like, you didn't interpret that right the first time. Let's run
Right.
back that again. Like,
And now I'm like, you know what? Heard? Heard. Okay? Heard. Ah, yes. Okay.
oh, hey, it happens like that. You're like, okay,
It's
message.
this
Okay.
this is a lifelong lesson for me because it's like, oh, just because you did something nice that somebody did not ask you to do does not mean they're going to do that for you. Like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
noted. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be mad at that. Okay, so my dues this week say low tide,
Okay.
log off, get me off the internet. It's probably a good
Okay.
idea, always.
Yeah.
And true blues.
Oh.
I don't know if they mean like blues, like I'm feeling blue, but also I do have 2 different shades of blue on right now. So,
We've had this before because I think I was like, I'm having deja vu or something. Because I think we had
oh,
this conversation on the podcast, and I'm like, I think true blues are like your besties. Like, I think that's,
oh,
yeah.
okay. You know what? That is sounding familiar. There's a lot of ways you could take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so do hang out with your friends, do hang out with your true
Your
blues.
true blues, the people
Okay.
that, there through
Huh.
and through, your true blues.
That's interesting. I'm
I think
curious.
at this point we're gonna have to look it up. Like what
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
So we
'Cause
can know, like, what does it mean?
and clearly I think we have talked about this before, but it didn't stick because I've never heard anybody refer to a true like
I think
that's what they
it's kind of
mean.
old. Like, it's kind
Well,
of an
we
old
didn't it doesn't
saying.
have to be an age thing. We
I
said
mean,
that
I'm just saying. I mean, it's older than me.
you said that the other day. You were like, "Now, see, some things are just not they're not generational. They're just we run in different circles." And I was like, "You know what? We get along very well, but we do, I think, encounter some different things."
Yeah. Okay, so this says completely loyal to a person or belief.
Oh, okay. So
That's from the
my day
Cambridge
ones.
English Dictionary. Uh-huh. So either
Interesting.
the day ones or something that you're a belief system that you were just loyal to. But
Okay.
probably more than likely you friends.
Right. That's kind of yeah, that makes more sense to me. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll stick to that. We're logging
Your
off.
homies.
We're calling the homies. Okay? It's upsetting me and my homegirls. All right. So my don'ts this week are read receipts. I always have my read receipts off.
Like, I don't want those
So,
on.
yeah. So don't do read receipts. Don't do white lies. So we're being very honest
Right
right
there.
now.
Honest.
And don't destroy the evidence. Okay, so we're saving everything. That's what I heard. Don't destroy the evidence. All
Sounds
right.
dangerous. Well,
Okay.
we'll talk about some evidence in just a little while.
We sure will. That's a great segue. Do you want to take a quick break and come back with our relatable content?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We are here now to talk about some relatable content.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
I'm coming to this relatable content feeling like a real asshole in some ways, but not in all ways.
I think it's fair. I don't think you have to feel. I mean,
Christine's making me feel a lot better about it, about calling
yeah.
Kate Middleton a pick me. And
I
then
mean,
finding
look,
out,
that information still stands.
you
Especially like
know,
that was. I mean,
you're right. That was
nothing about that
before.
changed.
You're very right. You're very right. So,
Okay.
just to back up a little bit, in case you did not listen to last week's episode, we, of course, during our relatable content, speculated as much of the internet did about what the fuck was going on with Kate Middleton, and I can't even lie. Like the jokes on Twitter were very funny. It was a good time on the internet. You know, the royal family
Listen,
is
And it's
Crazy.
been weeks, right? Like, I mean, people have been like
Yeah.
talking about this for weeks, and I finally was like, "What is going on with the girl? Like, where is
Where
she?
is
Like,
she?
what's going on?" And they're like, "Hello." I was
Yes.
like, "I'm
So
confused now. I gotta pay attention. Like, what's happening?"
right. We were literally all speculating. And so, of course, we speculated on the pod. And literally the next day, the royal family was like, "Oh, so sorry. Don't you feel like an asshole now? She has cancer." And I'm just like,
Right,
fuck, man. Like, I gotta say
right.
something. But
Poor Shelby, just
yeah,
just getting eaten up. She just feels eaten. I'm like, girl, it's all right. Like,
you
again,
know,
half the world at least wanted to know what was going
exactly.
on,
And I
and
still, as you said, the royal family fucked this up. They
the
fucking bungled this
antics.
so
Like,
hard. Like, it didn't have to be like this. You could have just been like, "Hey, we're dealing with something," you know?
I'm baffled because again, these are the royal family. They have PR. So
Right,
like I'm confused on why this happened in this way. Why was there a stunt double? Like why do all that? Like just say, hey, Joe, it's a private matter, or
just that.
as much or as little. But all of that just makes it weird now, right? Like now it
Mhm.
makes it feel like I don't know if I trust that or not. Like I'm
Well,
not sure what to think, but it
because
doesn't matter. But
I we also just found out that Charles has cancer. King Charles or whatever. Nobody really gives a fuck about him. He's a philanderer, and we don't, what him and Camilla can just go on somewhere and be fine. But like, also, yeah, he also just said he had cancer. So it's just like,
that
although
makes it even more strange.
you know what they say. Well, Kate isn't in this, so this is not including Kate because she's not part of the family in that way. But all that royal inbreeding and shit, like that shit comes down to fuck you up in the genetics gene, so, in the genetics department. So like,
Hmm.
are we surprised? Not super.
Well, it's your cousin, this such and such cousin. Like, oh,
Ooh, I don't
that's
like that. I don't think you're supposed to
like
do
how they're
that.
related. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. But we are definitely sorry to
Yes.
hear about Kate's diagnosis.
Yeah.
We hope that you know she beats it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. It's that
um,
sucks. I don't wish that on literally anybody. I'm sure I
absolutely, yeah,
as everybody, most people I think have had some family member or close friend that has had some form of cancer at some point. It fucking sucks. Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's terrible. And I'm hoping that she's well. We're sending the good vibes her way.
Good vibes, good energy,
Yeah,
healing energy
all of
her
that.
way. And hopefully, somebody, we're gonna have to let somebody go on the PR team about that. Like
Man,
that.
I
It's just
swear.
like somebody's getting
Because
fired. It's like
she's
Beyonce.
still
Somebody's getting
out here
fired.
not wearing a ring. Like, it does not, it's complicated. It's the royal family as an institution, mostly bad. Interesting, intriguing. We all want to know what's going on, but
Listen,
also we can acknowledge, like, you
it's
know,
just a lot of fuckery going. Like,
yeah, monarchy kind of bad, right? Like,
just
very
let it go.
expensive.
Just let it go. It's time
Yeah,
to let it go.
yeah.
Like everybody
Anyway,
release. Just
man.
go get your little cottage somewhere on the countryside and just, do your thing and let's just let this monarchy thing go. You're already not like you're here for appearances. Like it's not even
Mhm.
like you're ruling anything anymore. Like it's really truly
Exactly.
time.
And, like, the wealth and, like, the
Mm-hmm.
waste and yeah, anyway, I could go on forever about that. So,
Go on.
I don't have to. We can
We
talk about
won't.
our next piece of relatable content.
Next piece of trash here.
Oh, man, when I saw this in the outline, I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad we're talking about this. This shit is crazy."
This shit is crazy. So, our next item, we're going to talk about Diddy. Okay.
Oof.
Again, and where is Diddy? This week's question is where's Diddy?
Who's missing this week? Now, he better not come out and be like, "I have cancer." Like, no, you don't, sir. No, you don't.
Well, I think we'll be less sympathetic, honestly.
Right. Diddy seems
After
like
the
not a good
things,
person.
yeah, the allegations. I was watching a news piece about this, and
Oh.
I just was disgusted, honestly, but not surprised, but not because it's him. Just because, like, I mean, one of these allegations, or the big part of the allegations is
Mhm.
sex trafficking, right?
Right.
And so, wealthy, powerful people are the people that move the sex trafficking industry. So, like, hearing a
Mhm.
wealthy, powerful person is alleged in sex trafficking is like, oh, yeah, not a
Yeah,
surprise there.
that makes sense. It's,
Mhm.
there's undercurrents of that shit going on all the time, and, like, I don't mean that in a
All the
weird,
time.
like, Epstein conspiracy theory way, although that guy was
No,
fucking atrocious, but, like, it is true that, like, with money and power buys you access to all
all
sorts
kinds
of
of things.
fucked up things, so, like, yeah. So I don't actually know. Obviously, I've seen headlines, but I haven't done a ton of in-depth reading about this. So
Mhm.
do you have like enough to give me like an overview of what's happening?
So, okay. So, yeah, this has been going on for a little while. There have been these allegations coming out. I guess, there several women have come out
Uh-huh.
about things about rape,
Mhm.
sexual abuse,
I have seen that.
um, including Cassie, who was
Yeah.
one of his recording
Yep.
artists and
They dated too for a
girlfriend.
while. Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought they
Yeah,
like
like,
dated or
Diddy's one of those people, it's almost like he's an Aquarius, I don't think he is, but, he just
mm,
has these relationships with women that are ambiguous at best.
mm,
The
right,
people he really
because
should have married or whatever, well, I
he's
mean, maybe
uh
not, but
is it JT that he's dating now from the City Girls? Is that right?
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
Or like I don't know if
yeah,
they're still maybe not after all this.
well,
Is she gonna
you
visit
know,
him in
JT,
prison?
where is your man? Like, where is he? Um I mean, he hopped on a plane, but we'll get to that.
Oh,
We'll get
yes.
to
Okay, so yeah, go
that.
ahead.
So amongst those allegations, then came information about alleged connection or involvement in sex trafficking.
Mhm.
And then things really got interesting. Now
Mm.
the case with Cassie, he actually settled. Um, I think it was last year.
Yes. I
It
saw
settled
that.
last year.
Mhm.
Um, but even her lawyer's statement still says to these other things like, his behavior, hopefully he, basically justice will happen for the behavior that he's been involved in.
Right.
So it wasn't like well, no, we don't think he did. Like no one's saying they don't think this stuff happened either. Like not
Right.
many people are like, no, he's such a great guy.
No one's defending his
People,
character either, and, we've kind of all I don't know, I mean, maybe I'm aging myself here by talking about Making the Band, but, like,
oh well,
we've seen him be an unlikable character on TV, and, like, you
oh
can
yeah.
absolutely imagine how that would transfer over to all this bad behavior.
Yeah. So the thing is, Diddy has not been outside of criticism or
Mhm.
accusation
Right.
from people over the years of like most of the time it's been on the business end, right? Of
Right.
business practices, cheating
Mhm.
people out of money or not actually paying or doing just shady business practices, right? People have
Yes.
been talking about that for years and years and years. But this stuff is like a whole different level, right? Like, once we talk about human trafficking, sex trafficking, like you into
Yeah.
some underground, deep
Yeah. Some
kind of
bad
stuff,
shit.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Just make sure I continue to say that throughout
Allegedly.
this conversation.
Yes.
um, but yeah, so okay, just the other day, was it Monday? Today is
Mhm.
Wednesday. Yes. So Monday, the feds and some other agencies
Ooh.
did a raid on both of his homes, one in LA, the other in Miami Beach.
Oh.
And then, Twitter was all of us. 50 Cent had something to say.
He always has
In
something to
which
fucking say.
no, he always got something to say. But this time I was like, okay, I am with you on this. I'm with you when you're right. But I'm not
When you're
often.
right, you're right.
Not often are we with each other. But I'm with you
Right.
when you're right. Uh, you know, and what he said was, this doesn't happen if they don't have a case. Like all the different
Right.
agencies, they have the TBI, not the TBI. That's
The
just the
TBI.
acronym that left my mind. Not the TBI. Oh,
But all
but
the
the HSI. They had the
wait, I
HSI.
don't
They
even
had
Homeland
it's like
Security?
Homeland Security. They had someone there, an agency for trafficking.
Oh my
They had,
God.
the feds were there. Like, there's all kinds of different representation
Yeah.
because one of them was for, they had armed guards. They came in on a tank.
Yeah. Right.
So it was like a scene to see, and
This is like some Scarface ass shit,
it
especially
feels
in
overkill, but
Miami.
it's like they explained every reason
Sure.
that
Makes
they had
sense.
these different people. Like one of the I guess the guards were there because he has like private armed security. So
Oh, right.
they have to have armed guards, I
Just in
guess, to do the
case.
search.
Yeah.
It's wild. Now, of course, Diddy was not at home. Diddy
Mm-hmm.
has left the country.
He's
Which again is not what people that are not guilty do.
right. They don't
Um,
usually. Yeah, it's 50 Cent. You're right. 50 Cent actually had a good point. Like, they really
you
don't want to
know,
do this, especially because they know how fucking high profile it's going to be. Now, I don't want to act like any of the US government agencies are, it's ACAB over here. Like, we hate the cops. But also, if you fucked up, you fucked up. They're not gonna run that
they're not.
risk.
And it's like they, again, they have to present evidence in front of a magistrate to get the search warrant to do this. So it's not just like
Right.
they running up on them. Like
Right.
they have to put together some evidence and make a case.
Yeah.
So
And that probably took
clearly,
years, like, yeah, to get this level of a raid of a home. Oof.
this is some stuff right here. So
Yeah.
I'm it's very concerning.
Mhm.
I did hate to see I don't want to say the boys because they are grown
Yeah.
men, but his sons, handcuffed, and I hope that they're not in any way
I
involved.
know. That's terrible.
But yeah, just a lot going on there.
A lot going
And
on
I don't
there.
know that he'll be willingly coming back, but I'm like, dude, it don't matter if you leave the country or not. I know you're not trying to tell you where you are, so they can't come get you, but if they find anything, they're coming for you back. They're gonna come to
Absolutely.
wherever you are and come and get you.
Oof.
Because like what? Like this, it's just insane.
That's really
It's
crazy. It's something
like,
else.
well,
So, I
hmm,
just wanted to look because I wasn't sure. I thought I had seen something, and I can't find anything about it right now, but I could have sworn that I saw another headline today that said that he tried to flee the country, but that they detained him at some point. But maybe I
hmm.
was talking about something else. I'm not seeing that now. But I did see this thing about they arrested some drug mule of his, and it's just this skinny ass white dude who used to play basketball for Syracuse. And he's
Oh,
like Diddy's alleged drug mule, and I'm like, "How did you get this random ass, probably rich white boy?" Well, I don't know. Who knows? I could probably think of a few
asking
ways.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to know? Do you want to know?
This is so random, but
People are
anyway.
talking. They're saying some things. The things that they're saying, I haven't read the reports of the abuse, but
Mhm.
like what they say they have read is pretty explicit and pretty similar also to
Yeah.
other people's stories. So
Mm.
very interesting things happening there.
Yeah.
Nothing, there have not been any charges at this point. So,
It's
these
all
are all
alleged.
allegations.
Yes, exactly. Please don't sue us. I did look up his birth chart if you would like to do a bonus birth chart real quick. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Or hear about it, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like we have a birth time for him, so no rising sign. But we do know of, as you said, that his sun is in Scorpio. His moon is in Virgo, which makes sense that he'd have some earth in there with all the money things. Tracks to me.
Mm-hmm.
His Mercury is also in
Ooh.
Scorpio. His Venus is in Libra, which that's funny to me. I'm just like, that's kind of a good placement, actually. It's
money. I mean, like,
yeah, I guess that's
Venus and Libra.
yeah, that does
I
track.
mean, Taurus would be more, but like
Right.
there's still something there, like Venus and home.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's got some interesting, that Virgo moon. Like, there's, like I'm thinking about all this, like the organization that it takes to put, to really.
Well, and his Mars is Capricorn, so yeah, absolutely. There's a lot
Mhm,
of favorable
mhm.
placements with money and, you know, like
Building what he has built, and maybe doing some of the other things,
right.
again, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Um, allegedly. But, uh, disappointed,
Yeah.
but
You hate to see it.
not surprised. We do hate to see it. So we'll see what happens. Again, these are all allegations.
Mhm.
No charges have been brought at this time.
Yes.
Now look, tomorrow we'll get an update. We'll be like, you know what? Come on now.
Right. You'll be able to tell like when
Don't
we
do this
recorded
to
the
us.
podcast based on how fresh the Diddy news is. Like
Right. 'Cause I'm sure there will be something before this comes out, or by the time this comes out, there will be some new information. So,
yeah.
hey, we'll all stay tuned.
See what happens.
But yeah. So let's go to maybe a less dark
Yeah.
celebrity birth chart. Now, he does have that Scorpio again too. So
Oh,
again,
right.
dabbling in the dark.
In the dark stuff, not surprising at all.
In the dark stuff.
Mhm.
Mysterious, being secretive.
Right.
Under kind of,
Yeah.
Now, again, when you're not in the elevated status
Yep.
of these signs, or,
That's what happens.
you
Yikes.
gotta do, things that you do, they will come out.
Yep. That'll bite you in the ass later. All right. So, who
There's a
is
lot going
our
on. Lots of
next? Of course. Who's our actual celebrity birth chart this week?
So our actual celebrity birth chart, we have an Aries this week, and someone else who has been, I guess a controversial figure, though,
Oh.
for less reasonable reasons.
Okay. Okay.
And that is one Halle Bailey, not Barry, but
Oh.
Bailey,
Yeah.
of Chloe and Halle, the
Yeah.
sisters with voices, not SU, no SWV,
No SWV.
no
It
SWV,
makes a lot of
but
sense to me that she would be an Aries. I didn't realize that. This is new for me. Okay.
yes. So, very, very unspoken as well.
Yes. As we're finding.
So yeah, because Hallie has recently, we'll backtrack a few years here, and bring us forward. So Hallie was more controversially in the news a few years ago, because she had accepted a role as Ariel in Disney's live action film The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And people were upset. Some people were overjoyed.
Yes. And some people were so fucking unreasonably upset by
Some
this.
people were very angry.
What is your fucking problem? To those people.
Like, just racism just reared its head. People just were people were crying. There were just all kinds of pity parties, and, just my child, like, what is she gonna see? Like, no, we have to remember that, this is a fictional character.
A fictional
Like, it's not a
character.
real person, so there's not
My
like an importance
God.
of keeping their likeness.
No.
That's
That's the whole point of making a, real life version of this animated
Right.
character. Like, that is the point. You can do whatever we want.
You can do whatever
God.
you want.
People are
Like, did they not
crazy.
see? I mean, like, Disney did you see the Cinderella movie back in the day? It was like Brandy and Whitney
Yes.
Houston.
Yeah, it was
That
so
was like the most
good.
mixed cast.
Yeah, they used to play that on Disney Channel all the time when I was a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Shout out to
listen.
Brandy.
Good brother. Yes. Okay. But like that whole cast was like, I mean, it was big then too when that movie came out. You know, we had like the Prince was like Asian and Brandy was
Yeah.
black, when he was black, the stepsisters, one was white, one was black, the stepmom was white. Like it was all kind of it was like none of this makes sense. But you know, we were here for it. It was fine because it's
Yeah.
fiction.
Well, and that speaks so much to the fucked up, like, political climate right now that people are, like, weird about that. Like, why the fuck would that matter? Like, not even
Why
why
does
would
it
it
is
matter,
a
but why wouldn't
mermaid?
you just celebrate it? Like, it's a good thing. Like,
And she's like, "Oh, we like her, and she can really sing." And you know, Ariel had the
mhm.
damn character, and not her singing.
Exactly.
Hello?
Exactly. Fuck. Ugh, yeah, it's so stupid.
Like, we
Anyway,
could have found a white redhead that can sing. You know, we could have dyed her hair red. Like, it's
but you were
fine.
probably gonna pick if it would have been somebody who was white, they would have picked somebody who doesn't look like her at all
At
anyway,
all.
and then they would have put a
Right.
fucking
It would
red
be
wig
like
on her.
Ariana Grande, and it's like, no, okay, y'all.
Exactly.
No, wait a minute.
And now I know Ariana Grande loves to cosplay as a non-white person, but in fact, she's fucking white, okay? It's not yeah.
I'm like, come on now, y'all. Come on now.
Uh,
It's like,
can I give you a really random ass sidebar really quick? Because you said
yes.
Ariana Grande. Sorry. I'll make it quick. My
You're like,
my parents are way cooler than I am, and they went to New York a few weeks ago.
mm-hmm.
And they have a friend who works on the set of Saturday Night Live, and so he got them tickets to go see like be part of the Saturday Night Live audience or whatever while it was being filmed. And it was the week that Ariana Grande was the musical guest.
Oh, yes.
And so they came back from New York and they were telling me all about it and they were like really excited about it, like they had a really good time or whatever. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of thought like, my parents being my parents and listening to the kind of music they listen to, I was like, "Oh, you're probably going to be like, Ariana Grande, whatever." But and they were talking about it and she was like in some of the skits and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, she was just so cute." And my dad was like, "Yeah, she was so cute." And like I was like, "Oh, okay. All right. You're Ariana Grande's biggest fan now? Okay. I don't I'm not don't tell me anymore, actually."
Like, I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
so good on that. Anyway, this is so random. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to tell you that. And that's
I've found in recent months, like Spotify's, has been trying to slip some things in.
Mhm.
Definitely slipped a little Ariana Grande. I'm like, oh, look at what's that song? It's just I was like, it is. Like,
Ponytail girl.
let me push hard on this side. I like this song. I'm like,
Right.
hold on, hold on.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep tangenting. We will get back to Halle Bailey's birth chart. I
We're coming
promise.
back, Natalie.
But that reminds speaking of Ariana Grande, I started watching this documentary called Quiet on the Set. You heard of it?
Yes. Why have I heard of it?
Okay, it's on HBO. It's about, and again, this will be a generational thing, I think, because maybe not. Maybe you probably
Wait, did you talk about this
did.
last
I
week?
talk
Is
about it
this
last week about the
in relation
Dan
to
Schneider?
Amanda Bynes?
Yes,
Yeah, Dan
I
Schneider.
did.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh my God.
that's you've heard of it because I literally talked
Yes,
about it.
because you talked to I was like,
Okay,
wait a minute.
thank you. I was about
It's
to
good.
go do a whole thing, but I did want to say I started watching it, and I always forget Ariana Grande started off on Nickelodeon. She was a child
Oh.
star, and oh man,
Oh.
I want you to watch it because I wanna talk about it because it's fucked up, but they're showing all these, like, scenes that this dude wrote that were, like, really creepy, and, like, you go back and watch them now and you're like, "Ew, like, why did they" but at the time,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I was like, "Haha, this is funny, I'm a child," but then you grow up and you're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's a very adult joke, like, inappropriate." Anyway,
Yeah.
there's several scenes that they played that I was like, "This is fucking disgusting," and they were all with Ariana Grande. They're, like,
Oh, wow.
slapstick humor, like, she's getting sprayed in the face with stuff, but it's, like, in a very, like, weirdly fucked up erotic way, like, it's gross. It's not something that's going to make you feel good, but I cannot stop watching it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna
So
watch it. You know me. I love a documentary. I'm
I
gonna
know
get
you
in there.
do.
But I'm like, okay,
The
how much of
beats
that can I take
have
in? That's
it,
the question.
I should have. I wish that well, there is a trigger warning on the show, so I'm like, I wish I had a trigger warning. I did, but I was like, I'll be fine, and I was like, oh
I'll
my
be fine.
god, this is what they were
This
talking
is
about. Like, ooh,
mm,
it's gross.
okay.
Anyway, I'm just like, I have a whole different perspective on her now that I know and remember what she went through being a child in that environment. I'm like, you know what? She's calling her a homewrecker. There's like stuff with her and the guy she's dating. I don't
Oh,
know enough about it to talk about it on the podcast, but
oh man, I
um
get it.
I'm just like, you know what? That girl, leave that girl alone, actually. She went through a lot. So, anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
As we're finding out, this industry just, we know it, but like the more people
Mhm.
talk about the things that happen in this
It's
industry,
fucked.
um, it's really fucked. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Anyway, so sorry I
Okay,
had to
Hallie.
down that right down the drain, but yes, Hallie, tell us about Hallie's birth chart.
So Hallie, oh, okay, wait, okay. So we got the part about Ariel.
Yes.
So now more recently, Hallie was in the news because she hit a whole baby,
Oh my
a whole
god.
pregnancy.
Isn't that crazy? Like, how? I mean, good for her.
It was
Privacy.
wild. Now people were starting to speculate. Now here's where this gets a little wild, right?
Mhm.
Now people online were starting to speculate that Hallie was pregnant.
Mhm.
But she would, like, come back at them and say things about, like, the body shaming and this, that, and the other, and, like, go on this kind of, like, platform about this thing, and I'm like, "Ooh, it's a little gaslighty out here. It's a
Yeah,
little
it's giving
gaslighty."
it's giving gaslighter. Like, what?
It's giving it's
I mean, she's right. You shouldn't body shame people, and really, you should. Everyone on the internet should probably mind their fucking
mind your
business, myself
business,
included.
right? And it's
Honestly,
like, gotta leave it there, girl. Leave it and mind yours. Like don't go to that place because now, of course, then it comes out. She's like, "Oh yeah, here's my." I think it's a little. I think it's a son. It was a son. And
congratulations, I guess.
I'm like, "Hey, girl, congrats! Like, I'm not mad at you."
I
And
Yeah.
again, ways we could have done this differently, but she's been very adamant, as an Aries would be.
Mhm.
Um, She didn't feel no ways about it, and everybody they should have minded their business, and she didn't owe it to anyone to let anyone know
Okay. I mean, that, you know what?
that
She's not wrong about that, but
she's not wrong,
you didn't have to lie to people. You didn't.
but you didn't have to gaslight us, girl. You didn't have to
There's a happy
gaslight us.
medium in there somewhere, and that is not it. That's for sure. So, okay.
It was quite interesting. So, so Miss Allie, so she's got a beautiful baby
Mhm.
now. And we're very happy. So now Hallie is an Aries sun.
Mhm.
She is a Capricorn moon.
Okay. Tracks.
Mercury and Venus are in Pisces.
Oh. Okay.
Now the Mercury in Pisces actually gives like very siren energy to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so perfect for Ariel. I mean,
Uh-huh.
hello's in her birth chart.
Oh my
She's a
god, it really
damn
was. That actually
mermaid.
is perfect interpretation. Yes. Okay.
Like, y'all just didn't consult the astrology, but the astrology says she's supposed to be Ariel anyway.
It sure
So
did.
relax. Her Mars is in Taurus. Her
Okay.
Jupiter is in Taurus. Her Saturn is in Taurus.
Mm.
Her Uranus is in Aquarius. Her
Mhm.
Neptune is in Aquarius. Her
Okay.
Pluto is in Sagittarius.
Mhm.
Let's see, let's go down. Her ascendants, come back to ascendant. Ascendant is in Gemini.
Ooh, okay.
Which is also, it's very interesting energy because again, yeah. Then her midheaven is in Aquarius.
Okay.
Same girl. Her north node
Mhm.
is in Leo. I was like, wait, why does it look like the
Oh.
same figure?
Huh. Interesting.
Um, and her Chiron is in Sag.
Mm.
Oh, this has the Lilith too. Okay. And the Lilith is in Capricorn.
Okay.
It's giving me like dominatrix.
Yeah, she's got a lot of interesting energy in there. Like, Like you said,
Yes.
that siren sort of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I never know what to do with the Capricorn moon. I'm just like, okay, Richie Rich.
Well, also, yeah, like several of her placements are so her sun is in exaltation, Aries.
Right.
Her moon is actually in detriment in Capricorn.
Right. Yes.
And of course, because that is the opposite of Cancer, which is where the moon is.
Right.
Or Mercury is in a fall in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. And then she has the Uranus is domicile in Aquarius.
Right. Okay.
But so she's got several little dignities popping in there. But yeah, she's got some. I get it. Like you get some good placements, and then you get some real shit placements.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff.
No. There are no shit placements. They're just
Exactly.
challenges.
Just challenge. You know what? Anytime that you're like, this is difficult, this is bad, this is blah. Maybe it's a challenge. It's just a good reframe all around. This person is a challenge. That sounds so much better than being like, this person sucks. This placement sucks.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
Challenge. It's a challenge for me. This is a growth area. Now, growth area for Halle is that she has a Pluto conjunct with her descendant or opposite her ascendant. And I was like, ooh, girl, Pluto setting. I have a Saturn setting, and that's got its own thing. But I'm like, Pluto, like, what does that do? So I'm over here researching what's going on with this Pluto opposite the ascendant.
Sounds destructive to me.
It says that like Pluto opposite the ascendant, you attract very intense partnerships.
Yeah.
And those intense partnerships, especially when Pluto is involved, can be, what do we say? Pluto can be harmful.
Yes, it can.
Harmful.
It can.
So something she should very much watch out for, but also in Sagittarius. So again, someone probably that's already not real consistent.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. That's tough.
So just kind of watch those partnerships, and again, those aren't just romantic, but watch those relationships that she attracts into her life.
All of
that
them.
Pluto is, you'll learn some lessons, but
for sure,
real hard ones. Wish we didn't have to go through.
Yeah, it won't be fun, that's for sure.
Not fun. But yeah, so otherwise, she's got some really interesting energy. Most of her planets are in the southern hemisphere, which is the top part of the chart. And so that energy gives very much like energy to the world, to others. Versus in the bottom half, the northern hemisphere is more internal energy. So a lot of her energy, her things that she is to do in life are directed towards others, which very much makes sense for her industry.
Exactly.
Her chosen field.
Yeah, it does.
So that's Miss Halle Bailey. She's got that fire. She's got that Piscean Mercury, and she let us know that it wasn't our business, and that she was she hid the whole pregnancy. And I was like, well, good for you, girl.
Mind your business.
And she hid it, and she just popped out with a baby. It was like, I kept it a secret because like a Pisces. Hello,
like a Pisces. Ooh, now you got to deal with this. Yeah. Well,
here I am.
Congratulations. I hope her and the baby are well. And happy birthday to her.
That's all I to do, just pop out one baby.
Man.
Start the whole pregnancy. Like, we're pregnant. Like, yeah.
I would love to do that, but I also cannot shut the fuck up. So, I know that I will not be a mystery in that way.
I have no idea if I would be, at this point, would I be like all over the internet that I was pregnant or what? I don't know that I would hide it really.
Yeah. But it might not be an announcement per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like, hey, I'm like, look, this is about to be a trial, okay?
Right.
Like, I'm getting elderly.
Not elderly. Stop it. Stop it.
In the pregnancy world.
Well,
definitely in the elderly space. So like, we're going to have to just, I'm sorry, geriatric.
Geriatric. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. Like, so if I get pregnant, it's felt like, we're going to have to pray or something.
Look, We'll pray over Christine. We'll lay hands on Christine.
Lay hands, so,
Everything will be just fine.
Wouldn't happen, girl.
But you know what? Right now, we don't have to worry about that shit. That's for sure.
This just reminded me of a story that I maybe need to tell you off mic. And then you can decide if it's an on mic story.
Okay, I like this game. Let's take a quick break right here. Leave the listeners with a cliff note. Not a cliff note, a cliffhanger.
Well,
There we go.
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Are we going to tell you the story?
You'll find out very soon. If we don't acknowledge it at all, then you'll know that we decided to move past that shit. All right, we will be right back, y'all. That's good.
Okay. It was doing the countdown and it was like 5, 4, 3, and I was like, "Wait, where's the
What?
I was like,
Where's
"Where's it gone?" Like,
hey, I kind of liked it though. It felt very natural. I was into it. Hey, giving us like
so
a
yeah,
Fonzie.
yeah, we're back for the meets. It's thinking now that we know the camera is in place on and it is rolling.
And you know who doesn't give a fuck about that camera is Kima. Look at her. Sorry.
Kima going.
She's here all episode.
Just hanging out, taking cute naps. We love it.
We love it. My little piglet back there. All right. What kind of meets are we getting into this week, Christine?
So, as promised, we are talking about just a few transits. But we're getting into some transits this week because, how can we, let an eclipse season go by and not get into the meets about eclipses, right? And like what this season means for us.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So, also, we have a merch. Maybe soon. It's like, no, we're speaking in for.
We might have merch. Yeah, speak it into existence.
Speaking it into existence. Mercury in retrograde is the first transit we're going to talk about today, because it is the one that's coming the soonest. And Mercury goes into retrograde on April 1st. Now,
so soon.
We are in the shade, the retro shade, which we'll talk about. So we may already be feeling these effects, but they will officially come into effect and be, most intense during this time. So April 1st. So before we go any deeper, just as a quick refresher, or for any, new listeners, anyone new to astrology, Mercury retrograde lasts about 3.5 weeks. So this period will be from April 1st to April 25th. And the retro shade can be 3 weeks leading up to and 3 weeks following the retrograde period. So typically this affects our communications, our travels, and technology, as these are things Mercury rules. Now, if you'd like to know much more about retrogrades, we have a whole episode. It is our second episode, which I was like,
so early on.
So early, like we just jumped right into retrogrades. You're like, let's get it, right in. Now, episode 2 is called Tears in the Club. Retrograde in parentheses. Now this episode is only available on Spotify.
Oh yeah.
So we know
exclusive content.
Yes, exclusive content there. But you can listen to podcasts for free with a free Spotify account. Like, you don't have to have a paid account. So just hop over there.
It's not information behind the paywall. You just have to patronize Spotify for a hot second.
Just, make a free account. Go listen to the episode. If you want to delete it after, that's fine. But, or maybe you'll keep it in case, you want to listen to episode 4, which is also only available on Spotify.
That's right. Our early seasons did have some exclusive Spotify only content. So yeah,
we had
go
music,
check us
y'all.
out.
We had music.
Man.
If one day, maybe we'll be able to have music again.
Perhaps.
When we get big,
When someone starts paying us to do this for real, let us know. By the way, we're here waiting for it.
So, check those out. Check those
Mhm.
episodes out. So we're gonna get into a little bit more specifically about this retrograde. So this will be our first full occurrence of the Mercury retrograde for this year. The
Mhm.
last one ended on New Year's Day. So
New
I was
Year's Day.
born last year, but
Mhm.
what a New Year's Day to just be
Man, start
coming out of
over?
the retrograde.
It's amazing. Love it.
So, I was reading something. It was saying that that one kind of put a delay or
Mhm.
a halt on some people's resolutions, things that they had
Mm.
plans for maybe in the new year. Kind of just made it kind of delayed. Kind of, like, no, well, that didn't quite happen, but that's what happens every year, right? So people skirt off on those resolutions. They fall off pretty quick.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's
you know.
same here, honestly, it happens all the time. But whatever,
Just
you
trying to
don't need
make
a
them
you can start a resolution whenever you want.
resolution. Maybe try it around the spring equinox. It might be more successful if you try it in a time where,
Okay,
the
get off
energy
the
is, with you, right? Like
now, like, right
move with the
now.
natural rhythm of the earth.
Yeah, it's why are we all subscribed to this stupid ass Gregorian calendar that doesn't make any sense to our bodies? Oh my god, I
Yeah.
could all day. Anyway.
Anyway, so just a side note there. So what can we expect this retrograde? So this retrograde is in Libra, Mercury.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, this is in Aries, not Libra.
Oh, okay.
We'll get
Yes.
to the Libra part in a second. But you might reconnect with a past love interest.
Mhm.
You might face some scheduling issues.
Yes, for sure.
You might find that miscommunications escalate minor arguments or issues into larger ones.
Mm. Okay.
I've seen some of these things already. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, these things are at play. Um,
Mhm.
so this retrograde is going to be a little bit different as it is beginning in between two eclipses.
Oh, man. What
Yeah,
weird energy.
okay, an eclipse corridor, if you will.
Mhm.
So this, we want to be mindful of the power that our words hold during this time, during the eclipse season.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, you might even feel that energy brewing before the eclipses begin, right? So like now. But March
Now.
18th began the retro shade period for Mercury retrograde, and the retro shade ends on May 13th.
Oof, that's so far from now.
It's
But
like almost
actually
2 months of like retrograde action. Like that's a lot going on.
so generally I know Mercury retrograde affects travel, and I have had 2 trips both to Nashville. I had one that was scheduled for a couple weekends ago and I didn't go. And then
Mm-hmm.
I had another one scheduled for the weekend of 420. And now with all this house stuff, I had to cancel that too. So I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's for the best. But then I'm going to Chicago on the 19th. So I'm just like, okay, we're out of the retro shade. We're out of everything. Maybe it will
There
be
you
fine to
go.
fly again.
Yes, yes. And
Ah,
again, it's just really being easy, like,
yes.
checking things, like make sure you check in or whatever, the
Go with the
things, check it
flow.
again, do it again,
Yes.
just make sure it happens. I thought I pressed that button, thought I
Just check
said
it again. Just
this.
make sure. Doesn't hurt to check.
Never hurts. Definitely during this time. So, retrograde officially again starts on April 1st. And that is
Mhm.
April Fool's Day.
That's comical. That is fucking comical.
So let's talk about it because, I got some thought now.
Well, always we have thoughts, right? What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? So okay, it's important to be cautious here. We love a prank,
Mhm.
but
Okay, no, actually, I don't love a prank. Don't ever
when
fucking
I say
prank me.
we, and I'm like, I'm not really sure who I'm saying we because I love to watch it. I
Mm-mm.
think we talked about this. I like to
Yes.
see a prank.
Yes. But don't play that shit with me. Okay? It's
Don't
not
play those
fun.
games with me. I'm not here for those games. Okay.
Yes. I think we
So
did we talk I don't think we talked about this on air, but I think it was after we recorded, but I was telling you about, like, I used to have a friend that would jump scare the fuck out of me all the time, and I was like, I gotta stop being your fucking friend. This isn't nice or fun. I'm scared. Okay?
I
I'm a
don't
little
like
baby.
this. Okay.
Do not do that shit
I
to me.
don't like it. I don't consent to it. Thank you.
So, especially on April Fool's Day this year, because it could go awry for a lot of reasons, as you're saying.
Well, but let's talk about like exactly why this is the wrong idea.
Mhm.
So these things can easily go wrong and result in people getting upset or angry. And
Mhm.
that's probably a normal thing for doing pranks, but
Right.
it's Aries season, okay, y'all?
It's about to
Is it?
get heated, okay? Leave it
You know
alone.
who's the hottest of the hot?
The baby, okay?
Okay,
They're on fire. They're gonna be mad
they're
at
on
you.
fire
Very
and they
mad.
want to light you up.
Yeah.
Uh, so also remember that accidents can happen if people take things too far
It's
because it
true.
is also Aries season and there's potential to cause harm to yourself or another. And Aries governs accidents
Mhm.
and bodily harm.
That's right. Ooh,
So
be
it's a
careful.
time to really be careful.
Be fucking
So
careful.
it's not the time. Just let the pranks go this year. It's okay.
Yeah.
Um, And another reminder about Aries is that Aries is the god of war.
Ah,
So
ooh.
don't start nothing no one will be done,
Yep, don't start
or
don't be nuns.
be prepared to catch these hands, okay? Because Aries will fight, remember?
That's true.
And
They
even
are not
if it's not
afraid.
an Aries, it's Aries season, and people are in the mood for a little fight.
People who are
Uh,
normally cool are gonna be fucking ready to beat your ass, so please be
it's
careful.
eclipse season, it's retrograde season, it's Aries season. It's a lot of intense energy. I would just save it. It's
Save
my
it.
personal warning.
Save it. Save
Save it
it.
this year. Just let the pranks go. Just let the pranks go. I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know if I even want to go to work that day. I'm like, really? Do we need to? Because I'm like, if a
Ooh.
child, I'm just, like, let me
Yeah.
just be clear up front.
Do you
Okay.
remember that, like, era of I don't know if you were on TikTok during all this, but, like, that era where everyone was just doing it's really at that era, it was literally, like, 2 years ago, where all the kids were doing the crazy pranks on on TikTok and, like, filming it and shit, like,
Hmm.
I'm not having any of that. I'm not
Yeah,
having
we're
any of
not.
that.
We're done. I mean, yeah, yeah. We won't get off on that attention, but yeah, we're definitely not doing that. Like, we'll just give you the eyes now.
Right.
Don't do me today. Or
Letting
any other day,
you
but not today.
know.
Definitely not today. Okay. So people may want to be forgiven quickly, right? They're gonna fuck it up. They're going to
Yeah.
fuck it up. Just letting y'all know. Someone's gonna do it.
Yep.
Um, because they want to be forgiven quickly because Aries it moves quick, right?
It
But
does.
their actions and words may be hard to forget.
Mm.
So again, before you do this thing, think 3 times, not just twice, 3 times, and
3.
play the tape all the way through. Just run it all the way. Is this the friend that you should do this with? Think about the friend. Think about the person. Is this
Think
the
about it.
person? Are they
That's
really
right.
gonna have a good time with this? Probably not. Okay, don't do it. This is
Don't
not the
do
time.
it. Good
Don't
advice.
lose a friend or a loved one.
It's not cool. It's not cool. Don't do that shit to me. Also, I'm
Don't
saying it
do it.
again. It's on the record now.
Okay, so another thing, watch out for old flames
Oh,
seeking closure during this time.
I hope not.
Uh, yeah, especially during the solar eclipse. Um, but this time could also be helpful to bring about healing,
Mm.
making it easier to move on from unresolved problems.
Okay. That's nice actually. That could be
Right?
it's a catalyst for some good things, which
Yeah.
makes sense. And it's eclipse season, so things I feel like I've heard Jessica say this a million times, so correct me if I fuck it up, but like eclipse season is like setting the tone for things to happen like a while from now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not it's a long form thing.
Yes, it's setting the stage. So this isn't like anything instantaneous, right? This is stuff that's, in the works and the process of over the next 6 months.
Right.
So pay attention to these things, right? So now if you're contacted by your ex, by someone from your past,
Mhm.
you don't have to reconnect with them. This does not mean that it's meant to be. If they show up, it doesn't mean it's meant to be. It just means and maybe listen, see what you need from the situation. Maybe you need some kind of closure, and maybe here it is for you, whatever. Maybe you don't need that closure anymore and you like, I'm cool. Thank you for hitting me up, but I'm good.
Christine, I feel like
Um
you are speaking directly to me because, like, you know. I love to spin the block. It's just like a thing.
it's about look, we did like we
And
talked
even
about this.
even well, we're talking to yeah, because it's we're both Pisces, so I get it. But like we both love to spin the block. And also I'm just like too nice to be like, fuck you, don't reach out to me. Like if somebody reaches
Right. No,
out,
I'm
I'm
gonna
always
entertain
like,
it. I'm definitely
how are
gonna entertain it.
you? Even if it's just like friendly, nice, like I just cannot be I don't know what
Mhm.
my fucking problem is. I'm like, you don't even want to talk to these people. These people were all bad for you, but here I am, just being like,
Here we are. Just,
"Wow, hope you're doing
how are
well."
you? What are you doing these days? Yeah, all the small talk. Why? Why?
She likes to be liked, what can I say?
You're like, oh, they're never again. They're back.
Uh,
Here they
they're
are.
back. Yeah,
Maybe it does a little something for our, egos. I don't know.
perhaps,
Hmm.
perhaps. But yeah,
Uh, but do what makes you feel comfortable, right?
that's
Like,
right. And you know what? Maybe don't listen to me because I also spun the block and ended up in a very happy relationship. So who knows? It's yeah, yeah, maybe it's all right.
trust your intuition. That's what I will say.
There you go.
Like,
Trust your gut. Trust those feelings.
and during this time, I would, just take your time.
Yes.
Again, we're in a retrograde, we're in
Especially
eclipse
during the
season.
retrograde. A
Just take
lot
your
is
time.
happening astrologically.
Think it through. It's fine. You don't have to give them an answer immediately.
That's
Then
right.
look, let me think on this. I need to take some time after actually about several, like 6 to 9 weeks. And I'll get back to you. Um,
Yes.
but don't be pushed to do anything just to make others happy or secure.
There you
Okay?
go. There you go.
Take care of you. That's very Aries, right? Take care of yourself.
Mhm.
You are the number one priority in your life.
That's right. You sure are.
Mhm. So now another thing that may, come up during this time, you may want to honor your inner child. That can be very healing, right?
Mhm.
The baby, Aries.
The
Um,
baby.
so this retrograde is going to give us a chance to look back and allow us to give our younger selves hugs and even some of the hurt and trauma we experienced as kids.
Mhm.
So that's good. We
That's
want
good.
to
We
definitely heal
love the inner
childhood
child
trauma.
work. Yes. I, I'm sure if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time at all, you've heard us talk about that. It's kind of the root of most things.
Okay. Most things. So like we're here for that kind of healing.
Absolutely.
Um so remember that while you're reminiscing about the past,
Mhm.
you may come across some new info that seems inaccurate and feel the need to change your opinions.
That's okay. Yeah, that sounds
So
right.
like, you come to some different conclusions.
Yep.
So you may also feel a sense of relief when finally addressing those long avoided issues or when you see the truth in the matters. So
Okay.
that sounds like good stuff right there. Very healing, just very,
Yes.
getting stuff clear, getting stuff, out of the way. Yeah. So again, during a retrograde, we want to avoid making impulsive decisions or jumping to conclusions. Again,
Mhm.
that is very Aries energy, so that's going to be very important during this season to watch out for. Just
Definitely.
really take your time because Aries energy really doesn't like to do that. Um, get all the information before
Mhm.
reacting to something.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. I already
Uh
need to
huh.
tell myself that again, even though I'm like, I know it, but I'm just like, remember.
hmm hmm Make sure you're not projecting or gaslighting or leaving yourself vulnerable to drama.
Yes, 100%.
Don't engage, right? Like, really watch out for these things during this season. Now, a special note, excuse me. On April 11th, now this is beyond this, this week of the eclipse, or not beyond the week of the eclipse, but beyond the time period that we're really looking at. But Mercury is in Kazemi, meaning that it is in the heart of the sun. So that gives it a lot of power to make plans for the future.
Interesting.
So, important date to note.
Okay.
4/11. So this will be the best day of the retrograde.
Okay.
So we always want to know those days, right?
Right. Give me a good day. I like that.
If you
I
need a
like
date
that.
to sign something, maybe that might be a good day.
Yeah, let's move this couple
4/11.
days. So Okay. Noted. I'm putting it in my calendar. We love to see it.
So the next transit we're going to talk about is Venus in Aries. Someone here loves a Venus in Aries.
Someone, I don't know who it could be, but someone has an Aries Venus.
Yes.
Shows it all the time on the podcast.
Yeah, no, come out. It's just, it's ever present. So on April 5th, Venus enters Aries, and with Venus in Aries, love is spontaneous and direct.
Sexy.
No beating around the bush here. We're coming right for you. The chase is very exciting to us under this fiery influence. We're bold, fresh, and a little impatient when it comes to matters of the heart. Aries is known for the love of the chase and the conquest, but Aries can be long-standing as it remains relatively fresh. So keep it fresh. Aries will hang in there with you. It gets stale. They go.
Don't let it get stale. That's for sure. That's for sure. Absolutely.
Yes. So desires are strong and expressed spontaneously, enthusiastically, and directly. And don't forget directly.
So direct. Ask for what you need.
Gonna be hidden. It's not gonna be confusing at all.
That's good.
That's the good thing about Aries. You're not gonna be confused.
No. I like that. It's a good quality, right? I wish I had more of that.
Okay. No, I'm here for it. So Aries prefers to seduce rather than be seduced, right? They're the chaser.
Right.
And so they chase rather than being the chase. They don't want you to chase them. Like they want to chase you.
Right.
This is my problem.
Sorry.
Aries I want to chase people.
It's fun.
It's not a traditional thing, right? It's like you're not supposed to.
I don't want to be coy and wait around.
So what if I can't do it? It's like not for a long period. It's taking too long. So now Aries isn't known for apologizing, so you may not be interested in making those apologies.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Because you should do it anyway.
You should. It's a good thing to do.
You should do it anyway. Just know that if you find yourself in a position you'd be as stubborn about making an apology, you should just go ahead and do it.
Just go ahead.
The energy is on you. And you okay?
Yep. It's helpful. You'll feel better at the end of the day, honestly.
Yeah, let it go. It's time to make things work right now, okay? It's not time to be a barrier.
That's right.
So now you may gravitate towards Aries-like activities, pleasures, and pastimes, and objects of interest. You might veer towards action, new enterprise, conquests, or courageous, daring acts.
Ooh, okay.
Again, it's accident season too.
So be careful. Yes.
Yeah, together.
It's all happening at the same time. So caution.
There's a lot of compounded energy here. So it's you may feel these things, but you may just want to really take your time. That's my advice. So you may also be impulsive with money, or entertainment choices.
Mm.
Venus, governs our money, and so
Mhm.
Aries and Venus together with money, I can tell you, they like
Right.
to spend it,
Yes.
and they like to spend it quick. It just seems to just go so fast, like there's just
Man,
never enough.
I swear.
So that is our Aries coming into I'm sorry, Venus entering into Aries.
Mhm.
Now for the main events, our new moon total solar eclipse in
Mm.
Aries.
Ooh.
April.
Oh, this is gonna be something.
So this is the last time that we will see a total solar eclipse in the lower 48 states until 2045.
Oh, 2045. I didn't realize that. This is a big event.
I'll be 60.
Oof.
Y'all.
Damn, I'll be in my 50s. That's
Look at you.
crazy.
Like, that's wild.
Oof. Yeah, I'll be like 52, 53.
I'll be
Crazy.
60 on the nose.
I will, you know what? I'll think of you whenever it's happening. Hopefully, we're still friends. Hopefully, we're podcast moguls by then. And we'll be
Right.
like, "Do you remember when we met way
Retire
back?" Oh,
remotely.
yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I hope to God to not be fucking working anymore. Like,
That's
yeah.
just, again, we like fun work, but like
Right.
hopefully we'll get to retire early because
Yes, that's
uh
right. Manifest it for us, please.
yes. So, there's only been some different warnings that have come out this week around this eclipse.
Uh-huh.
I keep getting things, of course, I always get the space news. I've been getting some, other interesting. I'll have to do some space stories where it's looking soon,
Ooh, yes,
getting
I
some
love
other
space
interesting
stories.
space news as well, but I'm
Okay.
getting a lot of, interesting articles about the eclipse.
Mm.
But there have been warnings from the FAA about flights during that
Mm.
time, especially on that day.
Mhm.
Um, Warnings about, I think I got one today about cell networks being impacted. So for people to, be on the
Hmm.
lookout for that. Um, and of course, some state and local governments have already like declared like state of emergency or whatnot for like
Right, because you
the
can't go
aftermath.
outside, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Wow,
um, it's a big deal.
interesting.
Um, so if you're in the path of totality, you know,
It's gonna be wild.
it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a wild time.
Yeah.
Yeah, take care of yourself and things. It's just gonna be a lot going on, a lot of different energy. Um,
Mhm.
so something to remember with the eclipses is that there are always two of them. Right? So April 8th will be our solar eclipse. And
Mhm.
then, we just had our lunar eclipse here on March 25th, which was just a couple days ago. Now, of course, this airs, it'll be like a week ago.
Right.
Um, and they're almost always in opposite signs.
Mm.
Almost always.
Hmm.
Sometimes we have, well, I think a situation later this year that we have the solar eclipse in Libra and the lunar eclipse is actually going to be in Pisces.
Oh,
Uh,
that's interesting.
yeah, so
Hmm.
sometimes that just catches it on the edge,
Yeah.
and it's actually not the opposite sign. So
Huh.
almost always. So they're like, oh, where did I go? The signs of the eclipses are Aries,
Uh-huh.
which is how we are seeing ourselves, how
Okay.
how you see yourself. I'm just
Mhm.
saying how I wrote it. You, how you see yourself.
Mhm.
And then Libra, you completely relative to someone else. So those are the two energies that we're getting
Oh.
in these eclipses. So
Huh.
people may be finding out how to update their relational contracts to be more fair to themselves or the other person.
Mhm.
And the goal is to have more peace in relationships, right? We want these, relationships to work more effectively, be, smooth and harmonious, right? That's
Yeah.
Libra energy.
Yeah.
Um, so eclipses affect everyone, just as a note.
Of
This
course.
is not just something that's like just for the people who are in that sign. There are things to know, like if you're the sun, if that's your sun, or if those are your rising signs. But generally, eclipses are gonna get us all. Okay,
Yeah.
we're all gonna feel the energy. Uh,
Everybody comes for everybody.
Everybody's getting these eclipse hands, okay? Um,
The eclipse hands. Boo
they're for
boo.
everyone. Uh, so if you do have placements in these signs, what those placements mean will be part of what's showing up for you.
Mhm.
So some will feel this in a more life-changing way, and others may feel this more subtly.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
that's kind of the difference there.
Yeah.
Um, Now, the focus for this eclipse season is going to be tuning into self
Mhm.
and partnerships.
Mhm.
And this is not just romantic, but also business partnerships, friendships, coworkers, all those
Yeah.
different kinds of one on one relationships. You're going to want to be tuning into those.
Yes.
So try to identify where you're unable to focus on your partnerships because you're so fixated with your personal path.
Mm.
So that's some work we can do there. Well,
Okay.
shadow work maybe. Um
Mhm.
figuring that piece out. So just a note here, big transits like this always pull energy from the opposite sign or the sister sign.
Mhm.
So some of those lessons are going to be in the opposite sign's energy. So this transit is in Libra, so it's gonna pull some of that Aries energy of like that
Right.
self work. So they always come, the energies come together.
Huh.
So just know you are separate, you are self separate from your partnerships, but also
Yes.
your partnerships are essential to experience your experience of yourself.
Mhm.
Right. So our experience of ourselves through other people.
Yeah.
Uh so
Right.
yeah, like it's all importance, right? We don't just have one, we have both. And they work together. That's what the
Together.
energy does. Um,
Absolutely.
so pay attention during this time as we'll be given the tools we need to recognize and claim what we need to truly thrive. You can receive epiphanies and surprises that could
Hmm.
bless you with wisdom, but make sure to employ this knowledge so you can continue growing and evolving. So don't just like hear the message, like, oh, that was a nice message. Like,
Right.
actually
Actually,
apply it.
apply it, implement it into your life. It's a hard thing to do,
Yes,
but like, yeah,
yes.
figure it out.
We have to hear things a few times sometimes before we're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do that thing. And usually by the time we do it, oh, I should have done this sooner because it's worked
Exactly.
out. Hmm
Yes.
Um, so just a little mini preview here. During the lunar eclipse, in the intuitive Pisces on September 17th or 18th, that depends on your time zone.
Mhm.
Um, we'll be asked to really tune into how our feelings affects our actions.
Hmm.
So in this moment, the instinct ruling moon will oppose the consciousness driven sun,
Hmm.
allowing us to see the world as it truly is. Very clarifying, right?
Okay.
So try to channel these insights into making some concrete changes to the way you operate in your day to day life. And the next solar eclipse after that will be on October 2nd. So that's the one that's in Libra.
Okay.
So just a little energy just to know like the next season, a little later this year,
Yeah.
kind of how this all works together. So the things we're taking now
Mhm.
will take us to that next season.
Mhm.
And then we will be getting those next lessons, right, to integrate
Yes.
into the next.
It
That's
never
kinda how the
stops.
cycle
You
goes,
have to
right?
just keep
Yeah.
doing the work over and over again.
Eclipse season to eclipse season to eclipse
Yes.
season.
Such is life. Find beauty in the work, you know?
You know? Always evolving, hopefully, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, that's our little transit news, y'all, like, govern yourselves accordingly. Just be mindful, I think just
Yeah.
always being present, being mindful, understanding that, the energy that's, going on may
Mhm.
cause some miscommunications, some
Yep.
things that go awry. Try to have patience and grace for people. Um, you know, trying to be our best selves, continue to
Yes.
be our best selves.
Yes. Yes. It's good advice for all times, but especially the current ones, you know?
Now, Aries season doesn't always make us want to be our our best selves,
It really
depending on
does
the
not.
situation.
It really does not, let me tell you.
Wants to pull the other side out, like, well, listen, don't make me get the fire out now.
Don't make
Right.
me. Don't make me.
Like trying to be water, but you want me to be fire. Like
It's in there. It's
it's
in
in
there
there.
somewhere.
It's coming. Like, yeah,
Oof.
trying to give you some time. The water is then I got the Taurus in there. The earth is really
Oh,
being patient with you.
yes. It's very kind. Very
In a
kind.
minute, we're gonna scorch the earth, okay?
She's ready.
We're lighting it up. Okay, y'all, we're gonna take a little break here and come back. We got a little Mercury retrograde
Ooh,
horoscope.
yes. Okay. See y'all
Okay.
soon. Hey, y'all. We're back. You know what I just remembered when I pushed the record button?
Uh-huh.
Is that we didn't address at all what we said. We were like, you remember you were like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and then we
Oh
just
yeah.
never.
Except if we're gonna, if we didn't tell a
We're not
story,
doing it.
we're
I
gonna press
and we kept to our word, and I
that.
just
See?
was like, you know what? Maybe
See?
maybe now that we're coming back, I should at least be like, sorry, you don't get it.
Sorry, y'all. That was it's a little much
Yeah,
for
that's
even for the
some
podcast. It's
yeah.
just, maybe when we use
Uh
the firewall, not the firewall, the paywall.
the paywall. Look, and
Maybe
this
when we have subscription
it
content,
was
I'll tell the story.
you know, that's the best we can hope for.
It's the best we can.
Um, in the meantime, though, we do have some horoscopes this week for y'all. So do we want
Mhm.
to start off with those?
Yes, so we've got a little Mercury retrograde horoscope, so as you can, have a little bit more information on what's happening for your sign. Now, of course,
Mhm.
if you need to know what's going on for you specifically, consult your local astrologer,
That's right.
let's do a birth chart reading for you. We can
Mhm.
talk to you about what's going on for you, but we're going to talk about what's going on for the signs. So let's
Yes.
start off with Aries.
Mhm.
Aries.
Yes.
So retro themed birthday celebration, anyone?
Ooh.
Retro. Okay, retrograde. Social Mercury kicks off a 3-week retrograde on April 1st, highlighting the past. No, this
Mhm.
doesn't have to be a downer for you, Ram. The trick is to focus on nostalgia instead of barreling horns down towards your future.
Mm.
Since the retrograde takes place in Aries and your first house of identity,
Mhm.
consider this a 3-week appreciation tour of your own personal history. Okay,
Okay.
good.
Cool.
Dig through your archives of papers, photos, half finished projects. Um, this can help you recall parts of yourself that you want to bring back and potentially pursue as a new path.
Ooh, okay. I like it. Good for you, Aries. All right, next we have Taurus. Is it fantasy or reality? Communicator Mercury turns retrograde in Aries and your introspective 12th house. From April 1st to 25th, you could find yourself singing into an emotional swamp or tilting at imaginary windmills. Windmills? Windmills? Anyway, sorry.
Yes.
Uh, but you've got a choice, Taurus. You can wallow in old wounds and fears, or you could let the heavy vibe of Mercury retrograde in Aries inspire you to finally get some closure. Replay the old scenarios, but splice in a new ending, one in which you walk away victorious and confident in a brighter future. Oh,
I love this. My Taurus rising is living. I'm like, oh yes, I feel it.
yeah.
I feel it.
Okay.
Um, all right, Gemini. Why no, Gemini? You shouldn't post that meme. Your ruler, expressive Mercury, turns retrograde and backs up through Aries in your 11th house of community and technology from April 1st to 25th. Cyclical, cynical humor could miss its mark and wind up getting you canceled.
Uh-oh.
Right now, no one wants to be canceled. Uh, you might not be able to avoid skirmishes with friends during Mercury retrograde in
Uh-oh.
Aries, but you can prevent things from skidding out of control
Mhm.
by halting angry text threads and requesting a face to face conversation.
There you go.
All right. By the same token, be on guard for uncharacteristic bite, backbiting. Ooh, jeez.
Mhm.
Backbiting. Ooh, backbiting. Or shaming in your circle. Make it your mission to create or maintain a safe space for all.
Okay.
All right, Gemini, be the peace, be the change you want to see in the world.
I know that's not normally your scope, but still. All
Mhm.
right. Cancer. One of your big goals could get temporarily in Cancer. Communicator Mercury kicks off a 3-week retrograde in Aries, your 10th house of professional ambitions, from April 1st to 25th. Without seeing it coming, you could lock horns with an authority figure, important client, or male role model. Why does it have to be a male role model? Right. Uh, the backspin of Mercury retrograde in Aries can feel like walking through a minefield, but the trick is not taking misunderstandings personally. Hit pause, look around, and see how you might step into your leadership to redirect things. Whatever your job description, you're still the captain of the good ship.
All right. All right, Cancer. Okay, Leo. Frustration could mount as Messenger Mercury turns retrograde in Aries, your ninth house of travel and
Hmm.
adventure from April 1st to 25th. You might feel your wings are clipped or you're on an annoyingly short leash. This could be coming from work, a relationship, or a general sense of stuckness.
Hmm.
But don't wallow, Leo. Use the pivot point of Mercury retrograde in Aries to send you off in a new direction or plan a retreat for when Mercury straightens out. Okay, just wait till it
Right.
straightens out. Being held back could be just the thing to light a fire under.
Mm. Okay. Now we're on to Virgo. The devil is in the details with Mercury retrograde in Aries, and he could also be lurking in the shadows. So train your Hawkeye vision on the hidden areas. Your ruler is observant Mercury, and while retrograde in detail minded Aries, your emotionally charged eighth house, from April 1st to 25th, you may feel overwhelmed by anger, competition, or jealousy. Get a handle on whether your suspicions have some grounding or if the negativity might be your own projection. Virgo. The backspin is a perfect time to review and reconsider your own trust issues.
Mm, well, Libra, relationship woes you thought you put to bed could rear up starting April 1st. Blame it on the retrograde in Aries and your seventh house of partnerships. This backspin could churn up conflict or miscommunication with a significant other,
Mm.
but it can also shine a light on imbalances in the union.
Hmm.
So, before you cry yourself a river, do a reality check. Are you giving more than you're receiving? Are you getting your needs met? An ex could resurface, or you may find yourself ruminating about the one that got away. Hmm.
Mm.
Gently explore, but hold off on any big decisions until the messenger planet straightens out on April 25th.
Okay. All right. So, Scorpio, an ounce of prevention and preventative medicine is worth 3 weeks of cure starting April 1st. Messenger Mercury goes retrograde again in Aries, backing up through your sixth house of work and wellness until April 25th. Even if you're in fighting shape, go out of your way to eat clean, wash your hands regularly. Oh, eat clean, wash your hands regularly, and avoid I don't know, boost your immunity with vitamin C and probiotics. There was a typo in this horoscope, for sure.
Okay.
That was not me, I promise. Staying organized can be a challenge during Mercury retrograde in Aries. Um, Make a point not to multitask or overbook. Research systems for keeping your data and physical objects sorted and systemized. I don't know. I really struggled with that one for some reason. Okay.
All right, Sagittarius. You can experience a blast from your romantic
Ooh.
past April 1st. Now listen, Sagittarius, you gonna have lots of blasts from the romantic past because you've had lots of past people, left in the dust in the past. So they probably popping up
It's
anyway
true.
for you, but they're gonna be popping up now. So over the next 3 weeks, as communicator Mercury spins backward in Aries, your fifth house of passion and creativity
Mhm.
until April 25th. Don't be surprised if you hear from a long lost friend or an ex looking to spark things up again.
Mhm.
But it's up to you, Sagittarius, to decide whether this former flame deserves a second chance. Is it them or is it
Ah.
you? Um, if you've got serious doubts, it's probably not worth risking getting burned twice. Healthy connections may deepen powerfully during this Mercury retrograde in Aries. If you're ready to move on from a romance, use this time to mourn and feel all the feelings.
Ah,
Hmm.
okay. All right.
Do it properly, Sag.
Right. Come on. Don't just boop, boop, boop to the next thing. Okay, Capricorn. Home could be a hotbed of activity over the coming 3 weeks as Mercury retrograde in Aries in your domestic fourth house. Um, Alas, the vibe may be more stressful and chaotic than anyone would prefer. Misunderstandings abound with everyone from demanding relatives to a difficult landlord. If it's time to make some big changes in your space, start the research process now so you can move forward once Mercury turns direct.
Okay. All right. So, Aquarius. Yes, you want to speak your truth, but don't get caught with the chunky soled sneaker in your
Oh,
mouth, Aquarius. Okay?
okay.
A chunky soul one. All right. Expressive Mercury kicks off a 3-week backspin in Aries on April
Hmm.
1st, sparking your third house communication corner until the 25th. Now, choose your words carefully and reflect on what you are going to say before you speak or post on socials.
Mm.
Think first. Even then, there's a good chance you'll be misconstrued during Mercury retrograde in Aries. It's not your fault, Aquarius, is it? But you don't want to get canceled again.
Come on.
What are you trying to say? Yeah. If you're feeling unprepared to pitch, hold important sales calls or brainstorming sessions until the messenger planet straightens out.
Hmm. Yes.
Take your
All right. Last but not least, of course, we've got Pisces. Oh, I already don't like what this is saying.
time.
Double check those credit card statements and review your receipts. Errors and
Mm,
glitches will be more the rule than the exception during Mercury's backspin through Aries in your second house of finances. Money could get a little funny during Mercury retrograde in Aries, so pay attention and don't just assume that everyone is as honest as you are. Your cash flow could suddenly get a bit tight, possibly requiring you to take on a temporary side hustle. But if it's profitable and fun, it might be worth hanging on to.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
If I don't like
No more
that,
side
I don't
hustles.
wanna.
No.
I don't wanna do a side hustle. I guess I gotta just check my receipts because money is definitely about to get tight. So yeah. Let's play it out till the end of the month. We'll see.
Oof, I don't like to see the money getting funny like that.
Mm-mm.
It's funny
It's
enough.
funny
Like it's real
enough.
funny. It's comical. It's real
It
comical.
is. It's
Okay.
quite comical,
Like,
actually, if you really think
like,
about it.
it's like okay, like it's comical. We don't need to get funnier.
Mm-mm.
Um, so I'm gonna make sure I'm paying attention.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Yes. So we are going to wrap up the show now. We've enjoyed our time with you. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us.
Always.
And when you want to let us know about how much you're enjoying your time with us, you can send us an email. You can hit us up on socials. But I'll tell you about the email, okay?
Yes.
So if you want, send your comments, any questions you may have, any requests for readings. If you want to, get into a retrograde reading, like, hey, hit us up. Send us your information. We're gonna look at your birth chart. We're gonna get into it,
That's
okay?
right.
So send that to our email, which is suchapiscespod@gmail.com. And that is spelled SUCHAPISCESPOD@gmail.com.
You can, as always, also find us at Such a Pisces Pod on Instagram, on Twitter, on X rather, on TikTok, on YouTube now. Thank you to Christine for setting up our YouTube channel. Basically, anywhere there is social media, we are there at Such a Pisces Pod. And yeah, just, as always, if you haven't already, you've heard me say it before, hopefully give us a review, 5-star review, wherever you're listening to this, and maybe tell a friend about the podcast.
Tell a friend. Everyone tell a friend. Everyone tell
Tell a
one.
friend.
If everyone tells
Tell your
one,
friends to tell my
you know,
friends that we can all be friends.
we can all be friends. And we can do this every week.
Okay,
We
there we
can do
go.
it every week.
Boom. Let's get out of here.
Come on. All right. So on that note, stay safe in these streets and protect your energy.
Seduce and scheme safely. Bye.
Bye.